Alright, what's up, Mario Kart driving fans? We got a new video here. We're going to show you all the shortcuts that we can spot on these courses because I don't think people are talking enough about all these opportunities to, change the gameplay in many of the retro tracks as well. People are like, oh, we're going to drive straight, blah, 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 but like, you're missing the point. The people who are playing this game, they're not riding on the walls. They're not doing the rail slides. We're going to go through and point out what the shortcuts are because they're all over the place and most people don't even see it. We have a compilation here that I'm taking from another video. First of all, if we boost or we get around these tires, there is a rail here that is clearly going to be faster than even mushrooming. This rail is obviously fast. It's the best line to take. It's the best line. And we're coming up and, you wonder what the best rail strategy will be here. Are we going to go around here? Is that going to be faster? Certainly this turn, as long as you're taking the inside on a rail or a wall, that's going to be faster. So could we perhaps hop on to this rail and then hop off and take this rail? That would probably be the fastest line. Now, hopping onto rails, you might say, well, how the fuck does that work? Well, look at this bitch and how fast he's going. He is absolutely decimating because he's riding the rail. Now, probably the hopping onto the rail will relate to the ground hopping mechanic where you can charge a mini turbo by just going straight in this game and it gives you a little hop. And I think that's maybe how you're going to be able to hop on shit whenever you want. Would it be faster to take that wall and get a boost from it? Like, we have no damn idea what the strats are going to be like in this game, what will be most optimal. My assumption would be that this path, even if you take it to this little upper section, is probably going to be slower than just going down here or maybe using this rail for a bit. Obviously, shrooming through here would make it much faster overall. This rail thing at the end, maybe you want to even go on that. There's not that much going on in this track that's really all that interesting in terms of alternate paths and such. This section is just going to be straight. Sure, you can go up here, you can glide up here, but there's no evidence to suggest that this would be faster. My question is, when you're on the rails, do you go straight and you just go trick, 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 and you just spam the trick button to keep getting boosts? Or do you have to go back and forth, AKA weaving between these lamp posts? If that was kind of the optimal strategy, that'd be sort of a cool thing going on here. Now this track's absolutely sick. There's a lot going on here. Going up this path is interesting because it seems like it goes up here and then it allows you to go around here. So this is obviously, this swing out is taken way longer, but then you get to cut over here. So a lot of the dual paths in this game have a trade-off where, on one corner you get a shortcut, on one you don't. My hunch is that it's probably not faster, but, of course we have to find out. So this motherfucker, he starts tricking back and forth, back and forth. This is something that we would be able to spam in order to get as many boosts as possible. My question is, can this feather jump over this gap? Another very good question that we'll have to ask. Obviously these rails are going to be slower. They are just taking the slower lines. But, there's the coin route if you want it. Would it be faster to just ride these rails down like this? This could potentially be the fastest route. It seems like everything's basically going straight, and if you're going around a slight curve, then you get a mini turbo around the curve. It's no biggie. This track is sick. A lot of alternate paths, lots to explore. Now, I don't really know if there's a lot to say about this track. It's very long. Would riding on the rails be more optimal than just going straight on this track is my question. If you can indeed spam trick on the rails, that could be the case. It could be the case. This course is sick, has a lot of shortcuts. So right here, clearly the fastest path may be to boost off of this railing right here. And you can probably get onto that side of the path. I don't know, can you? I guess so. And would that be faster than getting the mini turbo from going around? That's, these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves these questions. I am just coming at all the alternate paths over here. And coming up here, we have a huge shortcut right there that goes through here. That's like a cutting around the entire fucking house. That's pretty fucking good. It's a big ass shortcut. It is. Here it seems like everything kind of leads straight. It's really hard to tell if there'd be a more optimal route. There's not much to say about this track, but they did open up a lot of the turns that were previously just cliffs in DK Pass, and now you can kind of mushroom through a lot of points on the track. Probably the best place to use a mushroom is at the end, given that it's a full 180 turn. Now this section, there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of rails and shit, and there might be an upper section over here, but that's clearly slower, very obviously and clearly just too slow. to be optimal whatsoever. Would going off of this rail be faster? If you can spam trick the whole way down, this is probably where, this is like the Merry Mountain ending shortcut, basically. It looks pretty good. Probably where you want to use a mushroom. This one, I'm not sure how much there is to say. This top path, definitely not going to be faster. No fucking way. Again, here, rail. Can you just ride this the whole time? Is that the best way? Sky High Sunday, actually looking fun for once. There is automatically an alternate path here where instead of going off the glider, you can just go around in a little zigzaggy and go over here. You can glide over here. You can do some tricks over there. Now, it looks like you're going out of your damn way to do all this. So, people are probably just going to ride through this little circle or whatever. I don't know if it's giving you a boost like it used to. In the good old days, mushrooming through here is going to be the best strategy. Going up there is probably slow. This railing doesn't cut off anything that you couldn't just, hug the edge to cut off. Now, there's something interesting at the end of this map that we just got to show you. We just got to talk about it, and I don't think anyone's fucking talking about it, so we're going to be the first to talk about it. We're breaking new ground here. You can fucking go up here, up here, up here. You can probably go trick, trick, and just keep going down there. Or perhaps, going through here is the fastest way. There is a boost ramp in here. Also, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Someone tell me. Somebody tell me what the fuck this is. Can we go in there? Is that an exit somewhere? All right, so coming in at the end, watch this motherfucker over here. Watch this penguin bitch and look at what the fuck he does. This motherfucker, you think, oh, he's killing himself. He's suiciding off the map. Absolutely not. And notice, these two were in front of him. This motherfucker spawns out of nowhere, riding on the damn wall, and he's way ahead of these motherfuckers. This is what I'm talking about with the wall riding shit, okay? This little penguin bitch, he hopped there, and he took the inside of the wall. That's obviously going to be faster. It's obviously going to be optimal. So that's something that, that makes me excited. That's a fun little trick and a fun little strat. And there's going to be so many fun little tricks and strats that the noobs aren't going to be able to keep up with the pros, are they? And this kind of segregation is actually something that we really want. Now, Wario Shipyard has a lot of alternate paths. So it looks like this leftmost side is, railed over here. Is it faster to go up on the rail? Again, a question is essential to ask ourselves. And if you do go to the left route, is it faster to take this route? Unknown if left or right would be faster here. Unknown. Here comes an interesting thing. We got to pause right here. Okay, so there's a top path right here. And I was looking over this footage. And I said to myself, I don't think that I see the way to get up there. I don't think there's a way to get up here. I think that this is part of the free roam of the map. And it's not get-onable in the versus races. But if we keep going, you can get on top of the barrel over here by taking this railing up. That probably wouldn't be faster because you're just adding elevation when you don't need to add elevation. However, it might be able to get you onto this pipe right here and this pipe over here. How the fuck do you get over there? There's coins on it, so obviously you can. How the fuck do you get over there? And my final question for this map is, can we forego this path here and just go in the water? Let me show you what I mean when he turns over here. So this water goes all the way over here and it actually goes back here and it connects and it can let you out. I watched the beginning of another race. It can let you out on the side that you don't want to be in over here. Can you do that? I would like to know if that's an option. I just want to know if it's an option. I want to know how much freedom and creativity and exploring we can do on these maps. Now we're at the fucking Boo movie theater. We're at Boo Cinemas. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. So this is a great example, fantastic example of how you can ride on the wall here and it would be faster. This inside curve wall ride going on here, you can do that. Let's find the evidence. Oh, there it is. There's a ramp that you trick off of to get off of it and back onto the main track. Oh, look, and here it is again. So we know for a fact that this is what happens on this track. Again, you can ride here, and you can see there's a ramp that you're going to be tricking off that fucking ramp, aren't you? I also have a question about this part at the end. So, we can see that this is a viable path over here with coins, okay? However, the path that she takes, it doesn't show up on the mini-map as a split path. We have her going over here. Clearly that path was going this way. Ain't nobody over there. And I have a hypothesize that this is a shortcut, and here's why. Right here, this kind of looks like maybe this is where the other path gets out. And so if you look, you do the math, you go this way and you come out here. It's faster than going this way and coming out here. Okay? It's just simple math. It's just simple math. Now, Choco Mountain. Unfortunately, it's not really a chocolate mountain anymore. And a lot of the theming on these tracks is just like I'm in a metal laboratory for some reason. This shortcut at the beginning is fucking massive. It's a fucking massive mushroom shortcut right there. Possibly the best on the entire track. And we're only seconds in. Shortcuts that didn't... Another shortcut that seems kind of massive, because it's doing a full 180. And it didn't even exist in the original track. My God. So there's a ramp over here. Yet another big shortcut on Choco Mountain. Look at that. Choco Mountain has shortcuts. And it looks like you can also go up here, cut up there. And then we have a rail right here. You know, if you're in, you know, doing the inside, you're taking the lines, then you may as well like go right over this rail here. Will that be faster? Or should you stick off of it and charge a mini turbo? Can you jump onto this wall and go onto the wall? We don't know. Now look, there's a rail up here. This rail has coins on it. You can go up there and you can jump off here and then you're just falling forever and ever, and it probably takes longer, but it's still cool that you're allowed to go up there, okay? Subjectively cool that you're allowed to do that. Dino Jungle. We got a nice fat rail over here. We got a nice fat rail. Going to the right. Again, this is on the inside of the curve. So the question we must ask ourselves is going over here to get onto the rail, instead of hugging this turn on the inside, going to be faster than the amount of track that we cut off by getting onto the rail? My estimation is that it will be faster not to take the rail. Now you can trick off of that motherfucker. I don't know if that's faster. Something interesting about this Brontosaurus over here, this Brontosaurus, is that his tail seems to be kind of firmly rooted in the ground, and it kind of looks like a rail. My question is, on lap 2 or 3, does this big ass dino lean his head down and let you drive over him like a rail? That's my hypothesis as to what's going on here, okay? Because we have other dinosaurs that you're driving all over. You're driving all over the fucking dinosaurs. Now, at first glance, I said, oh, fuck! They fucking took away the bridge shortcut! Damn it, shit! But if you look closer, what's this dinosaur doing here that you can ride off his spine? We saw somebody do it in the trailer. We know for a fact that this is happening. However, it's not just that you go up here and you can ride his spine here, which you can, but it seems to me that there's a little spot here that you can drive off of and get onto him this way. Maybe you can trick off of here and maybe you have to use a mushroom, I don't know. Or maybe there's a little down ramp over here. So yeah, this bridge shortcut exists just in a different form. Ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, his neck is a thing that you can ride on. We are driving on the dinosaurs, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's another fun one. Where does this railing go? Oh, it just leads into the wall. I wonder why. Well, what the fuck is this? Oh, it seems like you can get up here. You can go in this little hole. We love going in holes over here. And you can go through there, and then you're up there. How else do you get up there? Obviously, I know the way to get up there, and I just told you the way to get up there. And, you know, traditionally, Dino Jungle, you got a shortcut on the right here. You're going to be shrooming through this off-road, and there's going to be a dinosaur in the way that maybe you trick off the dino. Once again, you're tricking off all the dinos here. And that's the little platform that you're going to be on when you're done taking that shortcut and you're done besting your opponents. I don't know if you're probably not going to be getting over this fence like you were in Mario Kart 7. You're not going to be getting over that fence. Wario Stadium, how many interesting things are there to find on this track? You know, it's really about that wall ride and that rail slide, and it seems pretty straightforward. I mean, there's some rails up here, but like, what are you going to do with that shit? Like, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to really do that much about it. Why the fuck? Okay, here's a question that I have. Let's go back. Let's take this slow motion. We have a railing here. We seem to have a railing here. Right here. Can you get from that fucking railing to that fucking railing somehow? Can you do that? And if you could, it could be faster to take it here. If you can somehow get the fuck up there, or if maybe just the whole thing has railings even when you can't use them. But there may be a way to get up there. That's why this is so fascinating, why this video that I'm making right now needs to exist. You know, can you get on that wall? And can you take a shortcut on that wall? We gotta ask the questions here. More railings. And coins on... Okay. We'll break this... We have to break this down. More railings and coins on them. How the fuck do you get up here? How the fuck do you get up there? Unless this is just coins that are there. It could be that these coins are just there because they're there in free roam mode. And they just exist all the time. Actually... This is Grand Prix. Why the fuck would they still be there? That's weird. So you can't, I mean, where are you going here? Could you ride this wall and then like get up somewhere over there. It's such a tight turn, though. Could you really do that? I don't know how the fuck you get up there. Maybe on different laps, there would be like some ramps that open up that help you to get to places. That's fucking nuts. Here's another thing. Can you ride up here? I don't see a way up there, but I'm just pointing shit out. Like, that looks like maybe somewhere someone could go. And also, there's a whole top up here. Is it just part of free roam that you can get up there? I don't know. It doesn't look faster, but it's interesting that it exists. And then, you know, taking this railing could be faster. Again, it's an inside turn here. It's an inside turn. I have something interesting to show you right now. Huh, what's this? What's this? If you ride this up or this up, you are on top and you get up there and you are above where he is now and you ride this rail. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is all new. It's all new, folks. And then you can get up there. That's how you get up there, because that's obviously a place you can get up to. Wow, wow, wow. But perhaps you could ride on this inner wall over here on this final turn. Now, here's another shortcut. People said, oh, I'm so disappointed because the lake isn't trick-overable. Well, what's this? This is a thing you can ride on, and then you can get on there, and then you can trick off of there, and then you can get onto this one and trick off of that, and that actually cuts off some of the off-road. Ha! What do you know? The shortcut is viable after all. Faraway Oasis. Here seems to be a shortcut that gets you... I guess it does cut off some of the off-road, but you will be having a lot of elevation, and we don't know if that's really going to hurt or not. And, you know, it seems like if you get up there, you can go on this ramp that also takes you over this bit of off-road. So, you know, that could be potentially viable. That's potentially viable. This is a dry bones kind of a Bowser Castle level with a lot of different paths. These are all straight, so I don't know if one would necessarily be faster. Why are there two different glider ramps? Oh, can you go down there? Can you go in his mouth? I think you can. Oh, look, the lower glider is to get in this little bitch's mouth. See the item boxes over there? Wow, you can go under him. Oh my gosh, thank you for pointing that out. You're welcome. This person's silly to go over here when you can go over there. Seems to be a rail over there. That's not a lot of footage. Bowser's Castle footage. A rail up there. Look at that. Everywhere. Rails, rails everywhere. Dr. Seuss could write a fucking book about it. What the fuck happened with this lava? And did Bowser burn his ass? Oh, and here's another great example of the developers trying to make different paths viable. You know, this one is wider, but then it's more narrow. This one's wider. This one's more narrow, and then it becomes wider. So we don't know which one works. On the question mark track, I mean, this rail is probably somewhat optimal. I mean, shrooming around, it's probably faster. Look at that, you can shroom and then you can trick off of this pipe over here and get back onto the track. And possibly ride on this rail over here. It looks like that's definitely a rail, and that would be faster because of the lines, Now look at all this shit. There's up there, there's over here, there's over here. This is going over this patch of off-road, so that could be a quite interesting route, perhaps the fastest. That's kind of a huge shortcut. That's kind of a huge mushroom shortcut. I'm not seeing that much shit on Peach Stadium. It seems like it's longer if you take these upper paths. I don't really know why that would be shorter or more optimal. There's a rail over there. How do you get on there? Let's try to find out. I guess you can just trick off of it. It doesn't look like it get you far enough. I don't know. You can get it, but it exists, and it's obviously faster if you can get up there. It will reward those who have the courage. On Airship Fortress, would tricking off here and then sliding on the rail over here be faster than turning around it? Could be. Now here's a slow cut. Why go up there? You get one coin. There were other coins down there. Not faster. Being on here, probably faster. This course looks kind of crazy. There's a lot going on here. Apparently you can be up there. Do you need to get on there from a point further back in the track? That's perhaps what you need to do. You know, you can go over there. How the fuck do you get up there? I'm not sure. Maybe you can't get up there. Maybe it's part of the open world. You just got to go over here. This would be the fastest route over here to go over here. Oh, but then you can't get on there. Look at these compromises. You can't get on there if you go up there. So is it the fastest anymore? We don't know. Over here, you know, you can get around these boxes. You mushroom through these boxes or something. Then you are up there and you are on the inside and you are taking the best line, my friend. We got to use our brains here. We got to dissect these courses. We got to take the options. We got to understand that there's going to be a lot of advanced strats, a lot of wall slides, okay? We're going to be grinding on those sick-ass rails, okay? That's all I have to say to you.